Pay attention. It's not what you think. Probably going to get hit with a copyright. You are listening to The Experiment, the Dodgers Fest Pitch Edition. Welcome. My name is Joe Soro. And you're not. Thank God. The Dodgers are going to be the theme of the show. Most of you have gotten used to that here in the last week or so, or 2 weeks. Because that's pretty much the only thing that's mattered, at least a little bit right now. But football's coming. College football started today. NFL is going to be starting technically this coming week, right, on Thursday, but really next week. So we'll be able to sprinkle in some positiveness in the experiment, in what we're experimenting. But for today, another impromptu show, another cause and effect show. Why? So cliche to come and yap after a bad loss, isn't it? Well, what else are we going to do? Because all we've been dealing with is losses, epic losses for the last 2 months, since really July 3rd, 2nd, 4th, basically right around Independence Day. This is the blood of the Dodgers right now. Kind of the theme of the show, right? You see a lot of red. But today was a surprise, even as bad as they've played for the last, what will be 2 months here in a few days. I had no idea they were going to crap the bed this bad today. I was actually expecting a win. And Tyler Glasnow has actually been pitching pretty well since he's come back from the IL. He's had a couple of mishaps here and there. But if you watch how he's been pitching, even those mishaps are because of the Dodgers not scoring. Because what ends up happening is he'll pitch a great 3 innings, 4 innings maybe sometimes, maybe 5 innings. Today was 6 solid innings. He had a no-hitter going into the 5th. And then, of course, all these guys in Arizona are just going to platoon everything until they get something, because they don't play for anything. And they don't play anyone of any relevance the rest of the way, because they're not going to make the playoffs. They're going to be the pieces of dead skin that they are. But they will play up for the Dodgers to see if they can ruin that. And what did the Dodgers do to respond? Nothing. I used the P word a lot in the last few shows, and I'm not going to probably use that tonight, because I don't think it's the P word anymore. I even used the word coward. I'm just going to say that this team, should I say, is numb? Maybe numb is the word, because right now my left thigh is numb for some weird reason. I think it might be from a pinched nerve in my back or whatever, but it's kind of weird. But anyways, numb. They look like they're numb. They look like they're just walking around like a bunch of zombies. And I don't know what other comments you can really make to this team that would jumpstart them to go somewhere. They win 4 in a row, and you sort of feel like maybe they're kind of reeling back in. I never really thought that all the way. It's too long of a season to just go, okay, well, they played good the last 3-4 games. I'm going to go ahead and see them run here for the rest of the regular season. But I didn't see it. I didn't feel it. Ever since that Friday morning before they played Houston at the beginning of July, I have not felt good. Before then, I felt fine. Before then, I felt they would figure it out, and they did. They played well in April. They played well in May. They played well in June. But since July, I do believe that the Rockies have won more games than the Dodgers have since the All-Star break. How about that? This was supposed to be an all-time great team. This is supposed to be an all-time great team, not just a formality in terms of winning a championship. This was supposed to be the beginning, really a beginning, because you can't use the word dynasty without a repeat. It's very, very difficult. I think the only team in my lifetime that you could say was a dynasty that didn't repeat was probably the San Antonio Spurs teams with Tim Duncan. That's probably the only one, right? So the Dodgers were supposed to stamp the dynasty talk. It's not technically a dynasty yet, but it was supposed to start by winning back-to-back championships, and they were equipped coming into the season, and they played the beginning of the year somewhat like they should. I mean, they were always behind, but they were coming back. Again, at the end, all that matters is winning. So what is it? What is it? What is next for this team? That's what I want to know. I don't really care too much to get excited about a couple wins. Even if they win every game from here until next week, it's still going to be, where are these guys' heads? Where are they? They looked pretty damn satisfied the last couple months. And when you talk about greatness, what's the definition of greatness? I'll hear Tom Brady talk. I'll hear Michael Jordan talk. I'll hear the Gretzky's, the guys that are so iconic and have won so much that they kind of set the table here. And you're not going to expect hardly anyone to think that way. That's why they are who they are. They're a different breed. But in looking at this team, you have some guys that I would like to think have a lot of fortitude. Guys like Ohtani, guys like Freeman, guys like Mookie Betts. Where are those guys in this? Right? I'm going to use those three. Where are they in this? Are they trying to get the pulse of their team? This is their team. These are three guys that are going to be first ballot Hall of Famers, right? And they're still in their prime. So what is it? What are they going to do to help the cause? Because if I'm going to have to sit here and talk for the next 2 hours about Dave Roberts, I'm going to probably try to drink this till I drown, because I'm tired of talking about Dave Roberts. I want to know what the issue is, really, and are these guys going to help? I want to know if those guys are going to help, or is it allowed to help in baseball, or has it gone so much into the computer where it just doesn't matter? Everybody's just sitting there waiting for the lineups to do their thing. And I'm still trying to figure out how you had a righty pitching today, and you didn't have Freeman at the three position. You kept putting Will Smith there. Now, I know you had a couple walks, but walks are great, but we needed doubles and singles when it mattered. And even then, 2 instances by the Hernandezes, and then I'm just sorry to have to say this, but Kike, why didn't you slide on that tag up, man? I'm like, seriously, dude. I think Mookie did signal for you to go wide and slide. Why didn't he do that? Was he worried about his elbow? And something that I caught, and I was talking to Empire Jeff about, if you go back and rewind the tape, you'll be able to see it on the Sportsnet channel if you guys have that. But Teo not catching that deep ball, you could read the lips of Tyler Glasnow and saying, effing Teo. So it's not just us. That was a reaction. That was an instant reaction to what Teo has been doing at right field. Probably some of the worst fielding that I've seen in a long time by Teo. I thought he was, again, coming back a little bit the last few games with some really cool plays, but this is a game of inches. This is a game of attrition. This is a game of testing your mental fortitude. And right now, it looks like some of the mainstays are just not focused in winning. They're just not. And it's trickled down to everyone, even the so-called leaders. The manager seems to be in a funk too. He doesn't know how to push whatever button. I mean, you're sitting there, and I'm going to go away from baseball for a second. I want to go to the mental part of this, because if I'm the manager and I'm looking at the TV after they hit the 3-run bomb to pretty much put this thing to sleep, the Arizona Diamondbacks were laughing at you. They were in the dugout laughing at you like you guys were like nothing, like you were some little league team. What does that touch? Does that touch your nerve at all? Are you numb to it? Are you that numb to it? Have you succumbed to who you are? Is that why? I really want to know. I'm going to ask. I'll put you guys' questions and comments up, and we'll talk a little bit into this. We'll talk about it because I really want to know. And Can it change? Baseball's such a weird game, and looking at it from an optimistic standpoint, I don't know necessarily if it's even optimistic. I still picked the Dodgers to win it all, but that's because I'm a Dodger fan, and of course I'm going to pick the Dodgers to win. What am I going to say? Oh, Milwaukee's going to win it all? We don't know if Milwaukee's going to win it all. We don't know if the Houston Astros aren't going to make a run in September and go all the way. We don't know if Seattle's going to make a run to go all the way. We don't know if the Cubs are going to make a run to go all the way. We don't know any of it. Philly, maybe. I mean, I guess they're due, right? So what is it? What is the real problem here? And is baseball one of those sports right now where there really isn't a solution because there's nothing to put there to solve the problem? You don't allow anyone to do anything in baseball anymore, do you? Do they? Everything's written down for them before they go onto the field. And everything is written down in their hats or in their sleeves or whatever. Anytime there's a 2-1 count, there's a 1-1 count, there's a 3-0 count. Everything's on a card, right? Okay, I'm going to give him a cutter because he doesn't swing well when he's 3-0 with a cutter. Like, right. That's how they set this up. So in all that thinking and all that data and all that BS, when do you start looking in the mirror and going, we just got laughed at by the Arizona Diamondbacks? The Arizona Diamondbacks, who don't play for anything right now. There's not even a 500 team, and they just whoop the crap out of you in your house. Gee, where have we heard that before? You've had the Milwaukee Brewers whoop your ass in your own house. You have had the Houston Astros whoop your ass in your house. You're having the Arizona Diamondbacks, who aren't playing for shit, whoop your ass in your own house. So what is it? When is it start to hit the nerve? Because this discussion looks like is going to continue into October. Is this a one and done? Are they going to be a wild card team? Are they going to have to start on the road, even if they win the division after the wild card or the NLDS series? Because this team already can't play on the road. Right now, we're looking at a team that's 500. This team is 500. The LA Dodgers of 2025, the payroll of $350 million. And you have Shohei, you have Freddie Freeman, and Mookie Betts at the top of your order, all in their primes, all going to be first ballot Hall of Famers that are not producing when it matters. And then you still have the Will Smiths, you still have the Teos, you still have the Pajes. You have these guys, even the guys that are coming off the bench like Rojas hitting a double for nothing. So what is it? What is it? And how do you fix it? That's the question of the night. How do you fix this? Unfortunately, I don't know if today's method of baseball I don't think that it can be fixed. The Dodgers would likely have to do something kind of out of their character, out of the character of the culture of baseball. Can and will baseball ever allow a true captain on this team? The captain is the manager. There's a reason why baseball coaches are called managers. They manage a game, or at least they used to. They manage the game. They manage personalities. They manage the pulse of the team. If your captain cannot have a team this talented, ready to play for at least 80% of the year, then what is the benefit of that guy? Because you're not going to get rid of Shohei. You're not going to get rid of Mookie. You're not going to get rid of Freddie. You're not going to get rid of anybody on this team that's playing right now. You've gotten rid of everyone that didn't matter. The Dustin Mays, the Outmans, the Taylors, the Austin Barnes, and you replace those guys with younger talent or guys that were getting off the IL and getting healthy. And the pitching staff. Geez, talk about getting hosed. Talk about Tyler Glasnow just getting hosed here. He hasn't won a game since when? Since before the holidays. since Easter, maybe. I don't know. I can't even remember. Snell had a good game yesterday. Got hosed. Yamamoto, what's going to happen tomorrow? Yamamoto going to pitch 6 scoreless innings, and the Dodgers are still going to score, what, 1 run? And what? They're going to score 7 runs tomorrow? They win the game 7-2, then what? Then what? What? They take a day off on Monday, and then what? Now they got to go on the road. They got to go on the road to Baltimore, to Pittsburgh. They got to go way east. Am I going to hear about how they're tired or it's too hot outside? That's an embarrassment, by the way. You're the LA Dodgers. You're the richest team, one of the richest team in sports. What? They don't have air conditioners with little blowers and misters in the dugout, so you're not getting hot. Guys getting paid 70, 50, 30, 40, 10, 12 million dollars a year, and they're hot and they're tired. It's an embarrassment. And we're going to have to continue to attack their manhood. The Diamondbacks were laughing at you. The Diamondbacks were laughing at you. And yet you did nothing. What are you going to do, Dodgers? You're going to go get in your little fetal position like you've been doing the last 2 months? Seriously. I would love to hear some of your thoughts here on this. What is next? Finding a solution. I don't think there's a solution. You either sack up or you don't. And how do you look at the season should it end the way it's looking right now? That's where we're at on this. So, whatever. I'll get to some of your comments here, guys. Let's see here. Harold Smith, welcome. Please like and subscribe. It's the first time I think I've seen you here. Thank you for joining us. They have been dead for 2 months. Absolutely. Drip Show, OXperiment going to tell us the truth. Yeah, the truth is coming. And the truth is always coming. The blood of the Dodgers right now tastes kind of sour. But we'll see if it'll sweeten up before the show's over. What the F is wrong with this team, Joe? I don't really know. I don't know why they're playing this bad. More talent, more resources, more less pressure from winning, right? Because this team had lost too many times before then, up until 2020, and then they had some duds there between 21, 22, and 23, and then they win it all in dominating fashion last year. Yet they can't seem to harness what they had then this year when they should. Playing Teo and right is criminal. Dodgers should trade Teo. So, Greg, I'm glad you brought that up. I am very happy you brought that up because that was some of the stuff that was swirling in my head. And Empire Jeff had mentioned, and this is something I have said for years, and it's more prevalent now than ever before, is contract players in any sport are a very dangerous player. Very dangerous. I'm not saying I didn't want Teo back, and I'm not saying I really want Teo to be traded. I'm not saying that right now. I do like Teo. But if you don't win it this year, and on top of that, you get your ass kicked in the NLDS by a wild card team if you win the division, or if you go in as a wild card and you get your ass kicked, somebody has to get clocked. Someone has to get clocked. You're not going to clock Ohtani, obviously. You're not going to clock Freeman. You're not going to clock Mookie. Okay, fine. And you're probably not going to clock Will Smith. His contract's too friendly for that, and he plays catcher. It's just not going to happen. But who are the sacrificial lambs on this team? Who are you going to, I guess, maneuver in and out of this situation? Whether it's the lineup, whether it's a personality thing, that's something that needs to be talked about. And that's something we will talk a lot about should the Dodgers crap the bed here this year. Because I think Teo is that guy. I think he's one of those guys. He's one of those guys where you have to consider it. Hey, we need to replace Teo at right field. If this is how he's going to play, and if he's going to continue to play like this, we have to replace that guy. I'm sorry, guys. Mookie Betts has been awesome at shortstop. Absolutely awesome, to the point where he is a gold glove candidate. He got better at shortstop like the last 2 months. He's getting better at shortstop. So I'm not going to sit here. He went there voluntarily, and he went there knowing full well that they needed to put Pages somewhere. That's really why. They wanted Pages somewhere. He started out at center, plays at center because Conforto's at the left. So, but there was talk once Kim come back, hey, if Teo continues to play this bad at right, you're going to have to move Teo to left and put Mookie back at the right, and then use Edman and Kim as your guys that are going to be at shortstop and or second base, however that plays out, which is probably what it's going to happen. It would probably be Kim or Edman, likely Kim, at shortstop, and then put Edman at the second. Muncy gets back as well. You put him there at third, and then you put Pages, Teo, and Mookie in the outfield. That's a very big possibility that will be the playoff lineup when everybody gets back healthy. The pitching has been very, very good. Bullpen, because they're not getting taxed as much, has been playing very good. And today, Kirby pretty much helped put the nail in the coffin. But Kirby was when you've got that constant pressing of either the player at the plate or the pitcher at the mound, when you have that constantly pressing mode, this is the stuff that happens. So I'm not going to really put a lot on Kirby on this one. Yates, I think, was coming into his own again here, and this was like the worst thing that could have happened to him because, mentally sometimes these things take you out. But Dodgers have enough middle relief that have improved the last couple months to where I'm not really worried about how that'll play out. What I'm worried about is this team cannot hit. They can't hit to save their lives, and they're picking the worst time to do this. And I'm talking about the worst time because they're not in any way going to be able to rax. There's going to be a 16-game stretch in September. 16 straight game stretch in September. And for these analytical assholes that are in that office, Friedman and all those guys, and I say asshole as in a term of endearment, not as a derogatory term, because I do like Andrew Freeman, Gomi, Kasten, all those guys did their job. They've done their job. But right now, I want to know, did analytics play into that, the way the schedule's coming out? Or did they not expect the Dodgers to shit the bed the way they have and not worry about a 16-game straight stretch at a time where there is very little margin for error? One bad week where they, let's say, lose 4 in a row, and the Padres win 4 in a row, they could be out of the division like that. That's how quick it can be. And it doesn't help that they're going to have a 16-game stretch in the last month of a long season to sack up, because this team has not really sacked up really all year, even though they were winning. But they haven't sacked up at all since the beginning of July. And that's pretty pathetic. So I'll go back to some of your comments here. Okay, Intel, what's up, bud? Skinny Luka is better than Dodgers right now. I can't wait to. Well, they asked Luka how he felt about this coming year. He goes, well, less weight and a little bit more, oomph in the game. He goes, he's expecting the same thing that he's been doing his whole career, which I agree. The Dodgers are a complete joke. By the way, nice to meet you, Dan Weaver. Please like, subscribe, and hit the notification button. The Dodgers are a complete joke. No playoffs in their future. I wouldn't go that far. Because there's a pretty extended lead in the wild card right now. I don't see them hitting the wall that bad to where they won't even make a wild card. I think they'll be okay there. But division right now, it's still up in the air. Dodger Blue and ESPN LA podcast will blow smoke up your ass and tell you everything is great. I haven't had a chance to watch the Dodger Blue podcast in a while. ESPN LA, I don't think the last time I listened to that show was probably 5-10 years ago. I don't even remember. It's just not. These guys are part of the organization to a degree. There's links to it. I think that's the great thing about. Sometimes I feel like, dang, maybe I've gone too far because it sounds personal. it does sound personal, and sometimes I'll be like, I'm not. It's not personal. It's just me being very, very bluntly blunt. That's all it is. I don't hate anyone. I don't hate anyone. It may sound like hate, it may feel like hate when you hear it, but I don't hate anyone over there. But I grew up in an era where you got called names when you screwed up. It's not the right thing to do. It's probably not something that goes on long before it starts to get bad. Like then the attention stops. But I do think sometimes they players, people in general, whether it's in a workforce or whatever, you can't do this in a corporate setting because there's too many pansies and too many laws and lawsuits that can happen from it. But to me, I grew up hearing, hey, when I sucked ass, I was told, hey, stop being a bitch, stop being a, you know what, and get your shit together. It wasn't nice. It was get your shit together. And there's a lot of video, and this isn't just me. I mean, there's video of Tommy Lasorda going to the mound where he's mic'd up, and he's telling this pitcher, just shut the F up. And totally lambasting him on the mound in critical games. That's what I grew up listening to. That's what I grew up listening to in my own life. Now you say it now it's like, oh my God, well, I can't believe he was so rude to that guy. Oh my God. That's what we have. We have all these grown men being treated like a bunch of girls. And I say girl in the sense of, girls are more sensitive to things. Or at least it used to be just the girls. Now everybody's sensitive. So maybe a little bit of insensitivity is warranted. And I don't have to worry about press passes or relationships in the Dodger organization and anything like that. Maybe one day. I don't know, maybe. But I don't answer to anyone. And I never, ever will ever answer to anyone. So we can speak freely here. I can, you can. That's the point of this. It's America, free speech. And what's going on right now is going to be hard to deny anyways. It's going to be hard to deny what they are because that's how they're playing. So we're not lying. We're telling you the truth. It's just a little more, I guess, piercing in terms of the words. Craig, good to see you, man. Sorry I wasn't on playback a lot today. I was in and out of the house, and I didn't want to get, I didn't want to get caught up in whatever was going on, and then I have to stop. It was a crazy Saturday. Usually Saturdays are a little more lax, but today was kind of crazy. Baseball's more than just hitting homers on offense. That is true. Get rid of Yates. I'd say getting rid of Yates, there's a possibility that they may not trust him in the playoffs should they make it. So I wouldn't put it past him that he might be a guy that they might not put in high leverage situations. I think it's not working right now. Lack of run support for the top and starters. Yeah, the lack of, it's all offense at this point because the pitchers are pitching their butt off. Betts is the new Reeves. Trade his ass. That's funny. I would say no. Mookie's been amazing at shortstop, and he's gotten out of his little funk and hitting. He's hitting better, and I'd like to think that he's going to continue to get better as the season ends. But my issue is the leadership part now. I don't know what Freddie, Mookie, and Ohtani are doing in that locker room to get people on point. I don't know if they're doing anything. Mission, what's up, bud? What's your take on Archie Manning? I watched the Longhorns come close to taking out Ohio State. Good game, though. Yeah, I didn't get a chance to see a minute of that game, but I did see some highlights. And this is Arch's first big. I mean, he played last year, but this is his first. Like, okay, it's your team. This is now your time to do what your ancestors did. And what better way to start the season to play? I mean, seriously, it's great for the viewer, right? And of course, having a playoff now doesn't matter if you lose the first game of the year like it used to. But geez, how about you get your licks in first game against Ohio State, the national champion? I had full confidence that Ohio State was going to win this game. I just didn't know they were going to win 14-7. I thought it'd be closer to like a 24-17 type game. But this was an all defensive focused game. Props to Texas. And then, of course, props to OSU or Ohio State because they Sarkisian didn't know what the hell he was doing. He didn't know what would work, and nothing worked. But Arch will get better as the season goes on. Arch will eventually be a number one pick in the NFL, and I believe he will be very good when it matters at some point here. Keep the lineup steady. I think you guys are talking to somebody else. Doug Davis, how you doing? Looking like you're a Yankee fan. 2 straight L's to the Diamondbacks. Dodgers are cooked. Padres will take the division and bury LA's fake dynasty for good. No team more deserving with their toxic fan base. Toxic fan base. Interesting. You guys were laughing when Ohtani hurt his shoulder last year in the World Series. I don't think there's more toxicity than that. So, glass house, you making this post in your little glass house, and saying that the Dodgers are cooked is just a response to really projection to you saying that the Yankees are really cooked. And the Yankees have been cooked for a while. I mean, let's be real. The Yankees look like the Red Sox between 1918 and 2004. Would you not agree, Mr. Yankee? I mean, you want to be real. I mean, the Yankees haven't won a World Series in 16 years. That's the biggest drought they've had, right? Do you see them winning anything with Boone, with Hal? Yeah, Hal spent the money. You guys, I guess, want him to spend $500 million. So, are you really talking about your team through the Dodgers? Because you're on a Dodger channel with your Yankee logo. Are you still mad about the World Series? You know, in your honor, Doug, I am going to watch the 5th inning. I would watch it right now, but I don't want to get docked the copyright the ding by the YouTubers. So tonight, when I get off air, I am going to watch the 5th inning in your honor. Doug Davis, Yankee fan. Thank you for being here. Aren't you happy we won last games? Aren't you happy we won the last games before this? No, I'm not happy. Joe Soro, what is the problem, or is it 3-4 thing players? I just think they don't have any desire to play well. They're not putting the effort in. Two examples again is Teo not catching that fly ball when he should have. He's got the athleticism, he's got the speed. He should have gotten that ball, and he's been doing that for a while now, right? He kind of reeled it back in, had some really good games the last week with that, but went right back into those bad habits with that play, and it cost him a couple runs. And then Kike, which is usually, I love Kike. Kike's my guy, but not sliding on that tag cost him a run, and a lot of momentum died at that moment. He might have been safe too. I think he got to the plate at the same time as the catch or the tag, but the problem is they called it out on the field. If the umpire had called him safe, they would have gotten that run, and they would have said, well, there's inconclusiveness there, so we'll just go with the call on the field. But not sliding. Had he slid and went out a little bit, he would have been safe, and he didn't. And those little things cost you games. Let's see here. One in the last 18 innings. Yeah, they just could not score for the life of them. One in the last 18 innings, and I guess the Snakes are exactly that. They're going to go back to being the little ones as soon as they get out of LA. Watch, this team might be too old. No, I don't think they're that old, Craig. You're talking about Ohtani and Freeman and Mookie. I mean, I don't think they're that old. Will's still pretty young. Paz is obviously young. Teo is still young. Glasnow, Snell, Yamamoto, Sheehan. I mean, sure, Kershaw's old, but I think these guys are ripe, perfectly ripe from top to bottom. I think they have enough youth, and they have enough veteran guys, and they have a couple of really, really seasoned veteran guys. But I think that's okay. I just think their mentality is just soft. I think they're just a soft team, and they're playing like a bunch of wussies. Fake talk. Dodgers are giving the Diamonds hope for the playoffs. They are still the best team ever. Diamonds are not going to make playoffs. They'll go back to losing as soon as they leave LA. Watch. Doc should have been gone a long time ago, but DEI kept them there. Let's be honest, Joe. DEI, not to get into that world too much, but DEI has nothing to do with with this. It has nothing to do with this. Uh, the problem in baseball is the fact that I am pretty much at that point where I don't think a manager matters anymore. I don't. In terms of strategy, in terms of decision making, you see it every now and then. You see some things here and there, but ultimately, I think it's an analytical game and it's a computer game, and the manager just basically repeats what the computer says. What I wish could happen is I wish they could tailor the manager to at least inspiring the team. You know, Phil Jackson. A lot of people don't know this. Phil Jackson wasn't really an X's and O's guy. When he started rocking and rolling, he adopted Tex Winter's offense, the triangle, and he was the creator of the X's and O's. Phil Jackson's job was to motivate and make sure the team was focused and understood pressure and understood how to handle pressure and understood how to deal with certain players on the team and the stars versus the role players, blah, blah, blah. I know it's easy to win when you have Michael Jordan, Kobe, and Shaq, but a lot of times it's much harder to coach those guys than it is a bunch of guys that are going to listen to you. So you have two different scenarios here. You look at somebody like Larry Brown back in the day. He always seemed to coach really well against teams that were good, didn't have a lot of star power, but good because they listened, and he won. The one time, because I don't consider the Detroit Pistons having anybody that was great. I never thought Chauncey was great. I never thought Ben Wallace was great. He was great in one side of the court, but I just don't consider him great. But he did coach Allen Iverson, and he was great. And look at the problems he had with AI. You never saw Phil Jackson have that kind of problem with Michael Jordan. You know, you just didn't. He had some butting of heads with Kobe, but that dissipated after the Shaq situation because most of that was revolved around the fact that Shaq and Kobe were kind of at each other's necks. But as soon as the Shaq Kobe thing was gone, you never heard one thing between Phil and Kobe, and a lot of it was gratitude too. I'm not gonna lie. I think Kobe being away from Phil in '05 and having that disastrous of a year where he didn't make the playoffs and he was injured for 18 of the last 82 games. He's like, I need Phil back, and I made a mistake. So again, I don't know if here's the thing. If you are going to get rid of Dave Roberts to get somebody else in there, I want to know that that guy is going to be able to press the buttons. How are you going to know that? Is he going to be allowed to do it? I'm not a Dave Roberts fan. I never have been. I think he's too droopy for me. But everyone in around now is pretty droopy. I don't like even the adults that even are older than me have softened up. Why? Because they want to keep their jobs. Because the system has allowed the player pretty much all the power. They've done it they've done it in all the sports now. Football, to some degree, they're still controlled by Goodell and the owners. You could say that, but all the other sports, yeah. I mean, basketball is a disaster in terms of any kind of ability to make players do anything, right? And then baseball is it's kind of been like that too because everything's interchangeable, everything. So I don't know. I'd need to know who you're replacing him with, and is that person going to be able to make a run with this team and keep them motivated and keep them focused and get in their ass when they're not doing well. Please make Dodgers and baseball great. Do you like Alex Call, Joe? I do. I think he's coming into his own a little bit. I'd like to see more of him here next month. We'll see how it plays out. We'll see how it plays out. I don't have a verdict yet, but I do like that he's improving little by little each game. Tiffany, how you doing? I think we shouldn't worry. We beat the Padres. We are fine. These losses to Diamondbacks don't matter. They do matter because your one game ahead with the tiebreaker. It's 2, but I was saying you're a week could kill you, and this team doesn't play well on the road. So if you're going to start the first series of the playoffs on the road, are they going to go back home to get finished? That's a dangerous thing. I believe in habits. I believe in what I see. And what I'm seeing right now is the Dodgers are 33-33 on the road. That's a stat that is pretty pathetic for a team this good. That's something that really, really, really needs to be talked about a lot more. 33-33. You're 500 on the road? Really? This team, $350 million payroll with Ohtani, Mookie, and Freddie? That's a horrible stat. Say that to our 27 rings. There we go. I was waiting for that. Hey, Doug. First of all, most of those rings were won before black people were allowed to play. And the other half was at a time that you probably weren't really that old, right? Here's what matters. We've been in the 21st century for 25 years. That's a quarter of a century. And your team has 2 championships. 2000, 2009. And you're in a drought. You're in a drought about 16 years. And that drought is going to continue. You guys are going to be very likely, you're on the path of being the 21st century version of the Boston Red Sox. Aaron Judge is going to play his entire career as a Yankee, or I should say, as he plays his entire career as a Yankee, he's gonna not win a single ring, unless you count the AL champion ring, which I wouldn't. I don't recognize that at all, and I'm sure Yankee fans don't either, because it's all about titles, right? But your team has only won 2 championships in this century, just like the Dodgers have, and the Dodgers will eventually pass that. It's inevitable. It'll happen. Whether it's going to happen this year or not, I don't know, but it's going to happen. The Dodgers are going to be the team of the 21st century. And I say that because the ownership is still the best in sports, best in baseball. And they're going to continue to keep doing what needs to be done to win. So I'm not worried about the end game here. I'm just worried about what's going on right now. And your 27 rings mean nothing right now. They mean nothing. Your team got their ass whooped by our team when it mattered most. What was it? 10 months ago? That's something you should remember. That's something that you should be thinking about. We went into Yankee Stadium, whooped your asses twice. And that last one was to win it all. So all you Yankee fans had to sit there and watch the champagne, watch Freddie Freeman get his World Series MVP, that same Freddie Freeman that gassed you and everything in New York. He took over. He bumped the Statue of Liberty off for an entire offseason and said, this is my town. So stick that in your crawl right there and eat it. I'm an Astros fan. We own you. Get swept. Astros fan. Oh, great. Good. Congratulations, cheater. Eat that, Joe. No, I don't think I will. The Dodgers 2020 Mickey Mouse ring and the fluke 2024 season don't change the fact that you're the biggest chokers in baseball with the most toxic fan base in sports. 2020 Mickey Mouse. By the way, they played in Texas, not in Orlando. And a fluke 2024 season. So let me get this straight. So you call a season where the team that won it all had the best record in the majors, beat on paper the best team in the NLDS, then beat the hottest team from June all the way through the regular season in the NLCS, another New York team, and then whoop the shit out of the best fodder that the AL had and could send in the Yankees. And that's a fluke. Your posts are a fluke, and you're a fluke, Doug. Again, 5th inning. I'm going to watch it tonight in your honor. The Dodgers have fake rings. They can't beat the Astros. Yeah. Okay, fake talk, whatever you say. Yankees fans, Astro fans hating the Dodgers. Hate yourselves, man. One's a cheater and the others are chokers. You talk about chokers. There's no bigger choker than a Yankee. They've been choking since 17. I mean, over almost every series, right? So, yeah, that you keep projecting, man. Stop projecting. The Dodgers are proof that no matter how much money you spend, you can't buy a backbone. Projection again, folks. Who was known to spend all that money? I mean, shit. The Yankees from 2000, after they lost to the Diamondbacks in 01, 02, 03, 04, 05, 06, 07, 08. They went 7 years spending more money than anyone for almost a decade and couldn't win shit. They finally got in on a tired Phillies team in 09. Phillies went to back-to-back World Series. They won the title in 08. And they were able to – Matsui was playing out of his mind. A-Rod, didn't really do anything. Jeter, didn't really do anything, although I love Jeter. You know, Matsui killed it. Just killed it. Killed it at the right time. They were able to squeak that one out. But that's it. That's all you got. That's all you've got. That's all you got. All you got. Enjoy that. Enjoy it. Lakers playoff tradition. 2021 Suns. 2022 no-show. 2023 Nuggets sweep. 2024 Nuggets again. 2025 Wolves. 5 years, 5 collapses. Same sorry story. Oh, Jesus. This guy, you really are peace, aren't you? How about this? How about 2000, 2001, 2002, 2009, 2010, 2020? How about that? And the two best players of our era. Actually, 3. 3 out of the 4. You can say 3 out of 4, right? LeBron, Shaq, and Kobe. And then Duncan's in there. But I'd still pick Shaq, Kobe, or LeBron over Duncan. And that's not to criticize Duncan. Those 3 guys are better players than Duncan. Duncan's amazing, but those 3 are better than Duncan, talent-wise. So, you're going to bring up 2021, 2022. When are you going to bring up the 2023 Yankees? How come you didn't bring that up? How about the 2022 Yankees? How about the 2021 Yankees? How about the 2020 Yankees? Do you want me to keep going? I don't know who you cheer for in basketball, so that's why I'm picking on the Yankees. Dodgers collapse is literally an MLB tradition. 2027. Okay. Stupid comments. Doug is cooking. Yeah, he's cooking a pile of shit, and you're in it. I can't watch Spectrum Lakers cast anymore. Love Worthy, but the others like Geeter, Breeze, and the blonde lady, and Fisher ain't it, bro. I don't mind looking at the blonde lady. I think she's cool, but she's a homer. I agree. And Geeter is just a happy-go-lucky guy. He's like that even in real life because I know his cousin, and they're tight. Bresnahan used to criticize the Lakers, but since he's been on the show, he can't do that anymore. And Fisher, he talks like a politician. The Dodgers are baseball's ultimate pay-to-win team, except the win part never shows up. All that money in your trophy case still looks like a thrift store knockoff. Are you talking about the Padres? You sound like you're talking about the Padres. The Dodgers have 8 world championships. What are you talking about? Thrift store knockoff trophies? What are you talking about? The Dodgers have beaten the Yankees 4 times in the World Series, by the way, in those 8. Half the time they've beaten the Yankees. Stop talking about the Padres, man. This is the Dodgers. I think you got to go to a Padre show and talk like this because that's what you're describing. Or you're describing the Yankees the last 16 years. Opinions are the wilderness between knowledge and this is now the blood of the Yankees. So good. Let's see here. What else we got? And what's with sunflower seeds on the face thing? Kind of gee. What's wrong with sunflower seeds in the face? It's a tradition. You hit a home run, you get sunflowers in your face. Dodger therapy session starts with acceptance. You're frauds with 1 fake ring and 1 fluke in 35 years. You're a fluke, and your team are frauds. And you've spent all that money and haven't won dick in 16 years. Ohtani disappeared in the playoffs last year. No, he didn't. He had a 3-run bomb that saved the Dodgers in the Padres series, and he had home runs in the New York Mets series, and then he tore his shoulder up in Game 2 and couldn't really do much after that. So, yeah, Intel, I don't know about that, but sorry, you got to change your stuff there. Big call, Raptors. I don't know what you guys are talking about. Best ownership will keep spending and failing. Okay, is winning a championship last year failing? Leading your division and going into September failing? Where are the Yankees and Houston right now? Let me look at the standings. Houston is in first place, okay, and then the Yankees are in second place. Ooh, they're making a run. They've won 7 in a row. Ooh, maybe we'll get lucky and see a rematch. We'll see what the flukies say then. Shohei was garbage in the playoffs. No, you're garbage. Oh shit! I knew the BBQ was coming. Barbecue. Pitching is taking its toll on Ohtani's batting. No, I don't know necessarily if that's the case. Pitching every 5 games. I mean, guys, these pitchers used to hit. Pitchers used to hit. Guys, he's getting paid $70 million a year on paper, at least for right now. I'd like to think that he can handle this. Freeman just hit another grand slam against. I'm going to leave that one up there for a minute. You see that, Doug? The Dodgers are garbage, and Shohei is garbage. He's good in the regular season, but is garbage in the playoffs. You said Shohei's to go to baseball. Why is it horrible? Blah. Last time I checked, he won a championship last year, and he was a big part of it. That's your GOAT. Other fan bases bleed for their teams. Dodger fandom is just another empty LA brand, shallow, insecure, and terrified of being exposed for what they really are, which is nothing. By the way, the Dodgers are going to break attendance this year. They're going to hit the 4 million mark. Everything you've said is bullshit. Like you're not even telling the truth. Everything you're saying is bullshit. Just like everything on social media. I always said Ohtani pitching is a problem because if he gets injured pitching, there goes his bat. Hurts himself batting, there goes his pitching. Intel, worrying about getting injured is for pussies. I wasn't going to try. I was trying not to say that word tonight, but some of you guys need to sack up. Some of you guys are starting to sound like the Dodgers are playing right now. Grow some nuts, guys. These guys are not bobsledding in the sand dunes with 180 degrees. Totally made that up, by the way. These guys are not playing football. They're playing baseball. And he has that talent. Enjoy it. Enjoy it. It's a rare. He's a one-in-a-century player. Only him and Babe Ruth have done this at this level. A level of greatness. Enjoy it. 2020 Mickey Mouse ring, playing 18-year, blah, 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 Mickey Mouse, blah, blah. They play in Texas, not in Orlando, you fucking morons. He never said Shohei is a good. He said Shohei is on his way to becoming. Thank you, Juan. Appreciate it. I'm here every show. He has never said Shohei is the GOAT. Thank you very much. There, guys, travel first class. Yes. I'm catching up to all your stuff. I know I said some stuff before. Dodgers got me drinking. Chris, I got drunk last night, man. I was at an Irish bar with one of my buddies, and it was fun. Doug Davis. Oh, here we go again. The Dodgers just split a series with the Rockies. Congrats. You're officially mid. 300 million payroll, and you can't even blah, 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 blah. Get back in first place before you yap in the weak East. Let's see here. Raptors Insider, you still here? Raptors Insider. Is that even real? Freeman Grand Slam. Check out. I'll watch that too. I'm gonna watch Game 1 for Doug after the fifth inning of Game 5. Craig, Dodgers need to add speed to their lineup. The problem is, anytime you add speed, those guys can't hit, so they're gonna have to find somebody that can run and hit. The Padres moving into the penthouse. Therapy can't save you from eviction in the NL West. Sports baby, you are not here every show, bro. I was waiting for Mark D. Oh man, that's funny. Let's see here. Joe, I saw this tonight. Nolan Ryan threw 235 pitches in a single game on June 14th, 1974, in a 13-inning contest against the Red Sox. This incredible performance included 19 strikeouts. There's two reasons why Nolan Ryan was able to do what he did at the time he did it. Number one, players weren't hitting as methodically as they are now, right? The other thing is, if you watch Nolan Ryan pitch, 90% of the force that's coming from that pitch is below his waist. That's why his arm didn't turn into spaghetti. And then on top of that, he was a freak. So you add freakness, you put in a little bit of at the culture of baseball at that time, and the fact that he physically pitched in a way where the force wasn't all on the arm and all in his legs and and hips and just overall core. You get what you get. Let's see here. Yeah, 235. That's pretty nasty. You need to build a team around Conforto for your future. It's only way, and Dalton rushing has been incredible. Whatever. Idiot. Then the next game on 3 days rest, pitches 6 scoreless innings against the Yankees. Wow, you're getting back into the in the domain there, man. I gotta get more information there. Just a heads up, you now lost 2 in a row to the D-backs. You know what that means. You are now only 1 game ahead of the Padres. Yeah, we know that. I can read. I'm nuts. SB is Mr. Playback. Make sure you join. Yes, please join us on. And by the way, when you join, there's rules. Okay, no stupid comments like you want to take our underwear off and that garbage, and then make sure you don't drop any hard ERs. Dodgers losing brings me such joy. Yeah, I know. Probably don't have any joy anywhere else. Schlepper, you're about to be swept by the D-backs. Congrats for all the spending. Okay. Does that make you feel good? Fake talk. To go on a Dodgers show just to talk shit? Huh? Is that it? Is that what you're doing? This show is better than Netflix. You're damn right it is. You're damn right. Although Netflix has been posting some good movies though lately. What's that one everyone's jizzing all over on? What is that? The Hunter's Wives or something? I haven't watched it yet, but I guess it's a bunch of hedonistic stuff by a bunch of women in Texas or something, a bunch of swingers. I just found out one of my buddies I had dinner with him and his wife and my wife. We all had a post birthday party type thing at my cousin's restaurant. And he talked about there's this, I guess, bar or sports bar type place not too far from where we were. And it's always empty. But I guess they make most of their money on one night a week when a bunch of swingers rent it out and they have their little pre-shindig thing before they get back to the house. What are you going to do? Okay, here comes Doug again. The Dodgers just lost 2 straight at home to the Diamond. I already read that. Sorry. Imagine having the highest payroll in baseball history just to get humbled by the Diamond, LA Large. Your act is getting tired. September by the Diamondbacks soon. Swept by the Rockies. All okay. Cool. Are you guys going to just repeat everything you read on ESPN? No originality? No originality? Houston Astros fan and a New York Yankee fan. I mean, can you get any more can you get any more sewer rat than those 2 teams? For real. Dodgers didn't even score yesterday. No show, no heart, no shot. Padres are taking this division and burying LA's Mickey Mouse. I wonder if this is like a bot. Sounds like a bot. Just a repeat of everything. All right, Doug, your originality has run out, so that you will no longer be shown on the teleprompter. Chat trolls on the Barbie. Just copy and paste. Yeah, no, that's for sure. No, again, I don't know. We're gonna have to wait a month to really know, and in the meantime, say what's what, say what is, and try to figure out will they get out of this, and that's all we can do. What can we do? We have no power. But it will be interesting if for some reason they don't win it all this year. I cannot fathom them not making some major changes. They're not going to likely get rid of Dave Roberts. They just signed him to an extension. I don't think that's going to happen. I think what would have to happen is I think they would have to miss the playoffs this year if that happened, and then if they didn't make the playoffs again next year, then they probably would have to. But I'd rather know who are they going to get, and I'd like to know if there's a manager out there that could be a great manager, and is that something that's possible anymore? No, 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 no. Don't ban anybody. Mark, don't ban those guys. It's okay. Let them talk. Let them do their thing. As long as you're not throwing ERs, the hard ERs, and saying gay stuff. No, you're good. No, don't worry about that. That's okay. Let them talk. They got their little celebrity stuff here now. It's not. They're done for the night. I'm not gonna put them up on here anymore because they just kept repeating bullshit. And if you're gonna come in with some stuff and then keep repeating everything the same way, at that point, you're just not going to be paid attention to. You're the dead fly that hit my clean windshield today. That's what I think of you. You know, a lot of times it might not even be a fly, it might be another bug. But what happens is, I'm driving and all of a sudden you just see yellow guts on the windshield. It's sad when that happens. Aaron, what's up, bud? Dave Stewart would probably get in people's faces. So Dave Stewart, guys like Dave Stewart, guys like Bob Gibson, I think even those guys would have bothered old timers. That's how mean they were. So I don't even know if those guys would work. I don't know. I don't know if anything will work. I don't think it'll. I don't think it will. The manager in baseball is not allowed. I don't think he'll ever be allowed. He's the baseball version. He's the football version of a running back. Is the manager in baseball? It's a luxury to have a manager that really, really makes a difference, but they're not needed. They're not really needed, and that's probably the biggest issue. Okay, where else are we here? Okay, fake talk is useless. Doug is useless, so those guys don't need to be. What the hell? Altuve's here now? Okay, let's see what Altuve says. See if he's not a burner account for one of these schmucks. You hate Altuve because he's everything your overpaid stars. It sounds like fake fuckface, doesn't it? I'll give you one more here, Altuve. Fucking midget. The Dodgers spent the season running their mouths. Okay. Yeah, it's the same guy. Yeah, it's the same guy. Sniper. Who's the sniper? Shut up your bitch ass. Don't touch my chest while you just hit a game-winning home run. Don't touch my chest. Don't rip my shirt. Because he was worried about his wife. What are you worried about? A bunch of dudes ripping your shit up? What was your wife gonna do? if that wasn't a simp retort, if anything, I don't know what is. 26 games left. It's been ugly the last 2 minutes, but let's see what happens in September. That's all we can do right now, right? And hopefully they make us eat our words, but it doesn't look good. It doesn't look good. Oh, Yankee tears with Astro blood. I love it. Give me that big Arab C. I'm not Arab. Mark, are you there, Mark? We're going to have to take Tiffany off completely. Please do so. I will wait until it's off, and I'm going to play my little music here while we wait. Let's see here. Where was it? Okay, here we go. There we go. Yep. We started the show with it, and we're going to end the show with it because that's what we do. We're honest with ourselves. When our team isn't playing well, we talk about it. Most fan bases go on other teams' boards and start yapping because they're stupid. They have no lives. I don't know what it is that they do. They have no relevance in existence. If they croak tomorrow, no one would care. Not even their own parents. Not even their own friends. Not even their neighbors. So this is the reality of life. They only show up when things don't go well. When they do go well, even if they do show up, it's either a fluke or something happened. Again, and the hilarious part about that is what is a bigger cheater than the Houston Astros? The biggest dink donk franchise of the last decade. The cheating pieces of shit scumbags who ratted each other out so that they can keep their trophy that they didn't earn. How about that? That's the ending there. That's the ending to the Houston Astros. That's the narrative to the Houston Astros. And of course, unfortunately, the Yankee narrative is they choke year in, year out, strike out when it matters, and don't score enough runs when it matters. And they continue to lose and lose well they can. So, with that, I want to thank everyone for being here, even the jackasses. I want you to have a good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. And until next time, I'll see you next time.